For years, if you wanted to do custom 3D relief carving on a CNC, you only had two options. One, learn complicated 3D modeling software and figure out how to design it yourself. Or two, buy a pre-made file from a vendor site like Etsy or directly from a vendor. Well, today, Vectric changed the game by integrating AI and allows you to create custom 3D reliefs with easy AI prompts. I'm going to show you how to do that, how easy it is, and how fun it can be.
AI.
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 I know AI is definitely a hot topic right now, and it is something that everybody is aware of or at least looking at. And Vectric adding an AI capability to their software is really, really cool. It's going to allow us to create custom 3D carvings very, very simple, very, very quickly. So I'm really excited about that. Let's get into Vectric and show you while we create two products for my upcoming Bigfoot Fest. So Vectric has created the new Easy Create AI tool. Now, this is part of their website. It is not built directly inside of VCarve or Aspire or anything like that. So you go to easycreate.vectric.com. Let me talk about pricing real quick. So pricing for this is going to be $20 per 200 credits. It takes 1 credit to generate an image and 4 credits to create the model. So if you do it right off the bat, it's about 50 cents per model. Let's go ahead and create our first one. So the very first thing I want to do is I want to create a 3D relief carving of Bigfoot. So I'm going to do Bigfoot. Now I want him to be in a forest. And you know what? I'm going to add Bigfoot walking because I want the full body. Bigfoot walking in a forest with a mountain in the background. Once I've created that, it'll take just a few moments for it to go through the prompt. Now that the prompt is created, what it's done is it's giving me a couple of different options of things I can use here. For me, for the idea that I have, I'm really kind of liking this one right here. So I'm going to go ahead and select this one. Now that I've selected it, it gives me the option to crop or remove background. So let me first just click remove background and see what it does. There we go. It's going to remove that extra gray background, which is what I wanted. Now, it looks like it pulled in a little bit here. So I'm going to come back and do a crop. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to manually crop it right at the edge of this window. You'll see here now that the model is created, it's gone ahead and thrown it in as a relief for me to take a look at. Now, if I come out and lay it in flat, I can see that the relief isn't necessarily exactly what I'm looking for as far as flatness goes, but I do like how much they've made Bigfoot kind of stick right out at the top. So there's some editing tools that I can do here right over on the left-hand side. First, I can scale my Z. So what I can do is I can kind of make everything more depth by popping it out. And so I'm going to go ahead and do that and add quite a bit of depth on it. Now I am going to fix it here in just a moment and you'll see how I do that. I'm going to add a little bit more detail because I like a lot of detail in this. And then I'm going to go ahead and do this edit height curve. Now this is really cool and unique to this software is if you come over here, you can see what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the highs and I'm going to make them come down quite a bit lower. But my middle, I want to drag up so it's a little flatter. See how that's a lot less curved. We're going to go ahead and curve that a little bit. There we go. So now I've got some nice, it's a lot flatter to what I'm looking for, less what we call a paper chip look. There we go. Look at that. So now that I've messed around with my height curve, I could also do my X or my Z and Y. If say, for example, it was potato chipped on one side versus the other, I can mess with the X and the Y. But I'm going to go ahead and download my file now. So if I click the download button, I can download directly a Vectric file or I can download the TIFF file. So I'm going to download the Vectric file and that's going to go pop up right into my files. There we go, right when it's done downloading. So I'm just going to go ahead and double click on it and it's going to go ahead and open up Aspire for me. So once I set my size of my material, I go ahead and it auto places the 3D file in here. So I'm going to go ahead and move it down so it's a little smaller than my material, because I like, actually I'm going to make my, no, it's an 8x10 piece of wood. So I'm going to go ahead and just make this as an 8x10. And I'm going to leave a little extra because I'm going to end up cutting this out. So we're going to go ahead and do it like that. And then I'm going to come and make a rectangle right at the box. Now, right now, doesn't need to be exact because it's not what I'm looking for it to be exact. So let's go ahead and toolpath it. So the first thing I'm going to do is select the file, and I'm also going to hit Shift and select that box I created. I'm going to come up and do a 3D roughing pass. And my material thickness on this is 1 inch. I just needed to update that real quick, and everything else looks good. So we'll go ahead and click OK. I'm going to go ahead and select my bit, and I am going to be using a roughing bit for this. And so I'll go ahead and calculate it, and I'll reset. I'll preview that, and you'll see that it will come through and hog that material out. And then next, I will go ahead and create the final 3D final path, and we'll go ahead and calculate that. So now I'll preview out everything, and look at that. It's got a nice little carving there as an example. So let's go ahead and now do our second project. Okay, so for our next project, my prompt was a Bigfoot foot impression. So it went ahead and created a impression of Bigfoot's paw print, basically. And I'm kind of added some texture to make it look like it's in plaster, because that's what a lot of the Bigfoots do, are in plaster. So let's go ahead and make a tray as our second project for this. So I'm taking our 3D design, and I'm just going to quickly center it. And now that it's centered, I'm going to go ahead and draw, basically using the freehand drawing, the outline here. Now, it doesn't need to be exact at all. I'm just kind of doing a outline of the tray that makes it kind of look organic, and it's basically what the plaster mold would look like. And I'm going to cross it right there. There we go. So now I have that. I'm going to come up here, and I'm just going to quickly do the snipping tool to snip that away. And now I have a outline that I kind of like. So I'll come over, and I'm going to create my toolpaths. We'll calculate that. We'll reset my preview, and voila, now I have my footprint tray that we're going to go ahead and cut out. So let's head out to the CNC and go ahead and get all of this cut out. Okay, we're down in the shop. So we're going to start off with doing our 3D relief carving. I'm going to cut that out of a chunk of Oregon black walnut, and then we'll do our foot tray, which I'm going to cut that out of some Oregon white oak. Let's go ahead and get it on the CNC and get running. The first thing I'll do is get this on the CNC. I'm going to use double-sided tape and clamps for this project. You can see my spoil board definitely needs to be redone, so please ignore that at the moment because it has definitely been through the Christmas holiday season of production. But we're clamping this down and then going to zero out the bit on the CNC. One of my favorite features of the NextWave 10.1-inch controller is that you can boost the movement of the machine directly on the controller and have it adjust the G-code for you on the controller itself. So I went ahead and bumped this up to 150% since this is only going to be a single pass project, and it's using a hogging out bit. I'm using a hog, or the hog from IDC Woodcraft, which is going to just cut out all of this very, very easily in one pass. This bit is designed to do hogging of material. As you can see, it is not a finishing bit, so it leaves kind of a very rough bottom, which is fine because our finishing pass will take care of that. Speaking of our finishing path, it's time to go ahead and swap out the bits. I'm going to use the Cadence Manufacturing Little B bit, so that's the Jenny Little B. It's a 1/8 inch ball nose bit for this. It's going to be my final pass on this project. Again, I'll go ahead and boost that speed since I can, and we'll start running the file. It's going to make quick work of this, and I love just watching it go from this very rough outline to a finished path. Go ahead and insert that meme from SpongeBob a few moments later as the CNC cuts out. Just kidding, I'm not going to do that, but this is a beautiful time lapse of watching this. Go ahead and cut it out. And once it's all finished right here, I'm going to then do a 1/4 inch bit profile pass around the edge of the project just to cut it out so it's perfectly square. Okay, so the Bigfoot is all done. Let's go ahead and get that off the CNC. There we go. Easy peasy, remove that tape. And there we go. We have our 3D relief. Now, I have a couple of plans that I'm going to do with this. So we're going to go ahead and get the next project on the CNC. Again, because my spoil board needs to be resurfaced, I'm going to use the tape and clamp method for this project again. So we'll go ahead and get those clamps on and zero out the machine. I'll load the file and start running again. We're going to again start with that hog bit, which will hog out all of the material on the project and it get us going and ready for our finishing bit. Once the finishing pass is all complete, I'll swap out the bit one last time for that 1/4 inch downtown Jenny, and then run the profile pass around the tray to cut it out. And pop it off the CNC. You can see it literally just falls off even with that tape and connected, so that's why I'm glad I did the clamp method at the same time. For this next part of the project, I cannot stress enough, do not do this at home. I'm going to do some Lichtenberg burning on this Sasquatch. So I'm going to use some thick rubber gloves. I don't actually touch any of the probes, and I have a foot pedal, which helps me control the flow of electricity. I'm going to go ahead and select or put the solution onto the workpiece, and I'm using a separate piece of wood at the bottom so that the electricity doesn't go up from the bottom. It's going to just stay in that other piece of wood. And then I'm making a lightning bolt down from the clouds into the forest on this project. It is really fun and it creates a really cool look, but again, do not try this at home. Do not follow my example. Do not do it. Both projects are off the CNC. I'm going to go ahead and add a round over and do some sanding, which means it's time for this week's Sanding Thoughts with Duffy Woodcraft. AI goes back a lot farther than you may know. In ancient Greece, there were myths of tales of automatons coming to life. In 1950, Alan Turing's paper, The Computing Machinery and Intelligence, proposed the Turing test, the benchmark we use for machine intelligence today. In 1956, the term artificial intelligence was coined by John MacArthur and others at Dartmouth Conference, making the formal birth of the field. As the concept of AI grew, you had tropes in Hollywood all the way from Rosie the Robot in the Jetsons to Haley Joel Osment AI in the 1990s. Today, we see advances in AI almost on a daily basis, and who knows where that will lead, for good or bad. I'm giving this project to my 4,000th subscriber here on YouTube. I'm actually getting close to 5,000, so stay tuned or keep spreading my channel and I'll go ahead and do another giveaway at 5,000. So I'm lasering their name and a little message on the back to them. Then we'll do a quick spray lacquer across the finish of both of these to finish up the projects. I really love how the wood pops out in color as soon as you get the finish on it. Thank you to everyone that helps support me and helps this channel grow. Please hit a like and subscribe. It really helps this channel grow. And if you're interested in supporting me even more, I do have a Patreon. It is patreon.com/DuffyWoodcraft. There are 2 tiers, a $5 welcome to the family and a $10 VIP tier. If you join my VIP members, which a special thank you to you guys right here, your name will be shown on every single one of my videos, along with after 2 months of being a VIP, you get a special handmade gift in the mail directly from me. So please go to patreon.com/DuffyWoodcraft or at least hit that like and subscribe. Again, it helps my channel grow. Thank you so much, and back to the build. This again is going out to one of my subscribers. I really like how this turned out. You can see a lot of detail, especially in the harsh light like this. That lightning bolt coming down from the sky to the mountain is really, really cool. So I'm really excited with this. Now let's take a look at the footprint from Bigfoot as well. I really like how the footprint came out. It looks like it's a copy of the plaster mold or taken right out of the forest. I really like that. I decided not to use this as a tray, and it's going to be more of a decor piece, which is why I use the spray lacquer on it. I'm really excited about how these two projects came out. Again, remember, these were AI prompts. I just typed them in and they gave me the models. It's that simple. I really, really like how this is going to help change and be more artistic for creators. Now that we've finished these projects, let's talk pros and cons of Vectric's new Easy Create AI tool. Starting with the pros, it's easy to use. Being able just to go to the website, type in a prompt, and have it create a CNC-ready 3D piece of art is incredible. They did a great job with this. And also being able to upload an image, awesome. Which is our second pro, image upload. It is really neat being able to upload a photo of, say, yourself or a pet and have it create the 3D model of you without having to do a 3D scanner or anything like that. It's really, really neat, and they've done a great job with that portion. Our third pro is definitely the adjustable model. The fact that this software within seconds creates a 3D rendering of your model and then allows you to in real time edit it using the Z sliders, the detail slider, the excess or the height curves. It's really, really impressive, and they've done an amazing job with that. And now for the cons. Now, technically I only have one con, so I'm going to call this cons and limitations. So my con, unfortunately, is the pricing model. I completely understand this is an industry standard thing. This is just a personal preference. I don't like the whole credit for purchase thing. I know competitors do it, and I know it is a standard in the industry because of using AI and having only so many credits to generate things. I just don't like it. It's my complaint overall of the entire industry. I just wish it was rolled into the purchase price of the software or something along that line. This next is a limitation. It currently only does reliefs only. I can't use 3D design software. I don't know how, and I don't want to learn. So that's why I really like this tool. Now, it is meant to do reliefs. It does a great job doing reliefs. Let's just say that right off the bat. I wish it could do 3D models as well, actual 3D models that we could use for fourth axis projects. For example, I typed in UFO fourth axis and it gave me a relief, which is what it's supposed to do. But I'd like to be able to do fourth axis projects and have it create custom chest pieces or a UFO and have it cut out that way. I want to stress that this is not an issue for me at all. It just was brought to my attention that this apparently has a not safe for work filter on it. If you use a prompt that would normally get an adult-related image, say a naked person, you're going to get this error message that says no images were generated. Now, I will note that your credits do not go down, so it does not use a credit for this error message, which is good to know. This is just a limitation compared to a certain competitor, which will give you definitely naked images. I personally will not be making anything like that, so it's not an issue for me. Vectric Easy Create is a great tool, and I think you're really going to enjoy it. So make sure you check it out at easycreate.vectric.com. Now, throughout this video, you may notice that my shop is looking a little bit different. That's because I'm in the process of completely tearing apart the shop and rebuilding it from the ground up. I have a special surprise coming in January around that, which is why this build is happening. So I can't wait to show you guys that soon. I do have another video coming out in December, so make sure you check that out. And again, as always, thank you so much for watching these videos, and until I see you again, bye-bye.